This is Weather Northeastern, a new weather show by the MeteoMark Weather Studio. Let's take a look at some viewers sent in photos and videos. But before I do, let's take a look at some of this fall foliage special weather coverage here from Weather Northeastern. Basically from the Binghamton area to the Catskills up to the Adirondacks. We're looking at peak conditions up into southern Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, portions of basically northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. We are looking at peak conditions, even a little bit past peak in portions of the upper Adirondacks here, above 3,000 feet, into the upper White Mountains as well. So some of you actually have to go down into the lower elevations to get some of that peak color. We basically have moderate color around the Great Lakes into coastal sections. Anywhere you have a large body of water, it's holding a lot of heat, so it's slower for the leaves to change here around the Great Lakes and in coastal sections of basically southeastern New England into the mid-Atlantic here. So basically this is what we've got going on for fall color coverage here through October. So let's get right into basically some of the photos here that I have from upstate New York. And I did say upstate New York has some of the best color right now because many areas are approaching peak. And these are some of the photos that I snapped here in my visits to the southern tier of upstate New York. So take a look at this nice fall foliage across upstate New York. Speaking of stormy conditions, on the other side of the coin, Lucas from Linden, Texas. Take a look at this quick time-lapse video here he did of the Linden, Texas area. You can see a lot of wind sweeping through in a short period of time. In this next video, you can see looking very stormy across the area. And this is going to be the theme here across the southern plains, from Linden northward towards Illinois, Missouri, Oklahoma, Little Rock, Arkansas. We're going to be looking very stormy and a lot of flooding going on as well. So places like Linden, Texas, this is going to be a familiar sight the next several days. Now, on the other side of the coin, you did have, look like the sun refracting through the clouds here, looking like a sundog across portions of Linden here. So very nice capture here, Lucas. And then he kind of panned it out across the sky. And as you can see, it looked like a very beautiful sky across the Linden area. So nice capture there, Lucas. Let's take a look at what we've got going on. Precipitation amounts, basically the coastlines, not too much to speak of here in the Northeast, a little bit through the mid-Atlantic with a frontal boundary that will move through, and I'll discuss more in detail. But your eyes are drawn to the Central Plains, upper Mississippi River Valley, Dallas, Linden, especially Linden, over to Little Rock, portions of St. Louis, Kansas City, and over to western Kentucky. We will be looking at a lot of systems and stalled out frontal boundaries, a lot of low pressure systems riding up along this disturbance, and we could be looking at some areas 8 to 12 inches of rain across this area. So watch out for that. Looking very stormy from Linden on northward to Kansas City here. So not good news because this will lead to flooding. And not only that, severe weather, damaging wind, large hail, and even some isolated tornadoes. So that's through the weekend into early next week. Here into portions of the Northeast, even a little bit, 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of rain across southern Pennsylvania through northern Maryland. That will fall over the next couple days with a stalled out frontal boundary, low pressures riding along it. Let's take a look at those surface maps for your Friday. There is that stalled out frontal boundary south of the PA Turnpike here. Harrisburg over to Pittsburgh, we're looking at about 1/2 an inch of rain on average, southern New Jersey, and then portions of southeastern New England will start to get clipped on your day on Saturday. But until then, take a look at this. Further north, we get into some sunshine across the Great Lakes into portions of northern New England here. Looking not too bad into southern Canada here, Ontario, Quebec, but we're actually looking really cold up here. We're looking towards Quebec, just north of Montreal into Caribou. Temperatures being held into the 40s for your Saturday. We basically have this system moving further to the south, a little bit of warmer air here in the Ohio River Valley. And then we start to get some showers here along the coast in southeastern New England. Portions of New England, we're still looking sunny, but quite chilly. Binghamton over to Cleveland, temperatures warming towards 60 into your Sunday. High pressure starts to retreat to the northeast. We start to see a little bit of a return flow here in the Allegheny Plateau, portions of Pittsburgh. We're looking at some scattered showers, especially towards afternoon, but even some warmer temperatures as well. Temperatures getting up into the mid-60s towards Pittsburgh, portions of the lower Great Lakes here into southern Ontario. Even Binghamton could be approaching 60 by the end of the weekend here into portions of upstate New York into southern Ontario. New England, the cold spot up here, a lot of 50s, low to mid 50s. Then for your Monday, heading on into Monday, high pressure really retreats up here into New Brunswick. We get a warm front pushing with this next system. A lot of warm temperatures. Look at this, from Pittsburgh up to Erie, Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, Binghamton, over towards Cleveland, even Toronto. We could be seeing highs approaching 70 degrees in many areas. So very unseasonably mild with this next system, and even some scattered showers on the order of what's looking on an average of 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of precipitation. And that system will basically carry on into next week, and we're looking at a much warmer week next week. That's going to do it here at MeteoMark. I'm going to have a 5-day outlook for my hometown viewers in the Susquehanna region of upstate New York, Northeast Pennsylvania. Don't forget to like me on Facebook at MeteoMark, subscribe to me on YouTube at MeteoMark.com, like me on Twitter at Weather Northeastern. Here's a 5-day outlook from Binghamton to Scranton. Look at these numbers, starting out kind of chilly from Friday into Saturday. Not too bad though, towards the upper 50s. Lows down there in the lower to mid 30s, some more frosts and freeze likely. But then we get towards Sunday, things start to warm up. Even a chance of showers by Sunday night into Monday, with the warmer temperatures into the upper 60s. And look at this, by Tuesday, we could be seeing highs approach the low 70s in many areas, with overnight lows into the lower 50s. That's going to do it here at MeteoMark.